The PlayStation family, arguably the most successful home consoles of all time. Here's my list of the top 10 most interesting facts about PlayStation. Let's get started. One of the biggest mysteries during the original PlayStation era were the games themselves. The games weren't shiny, but they were coated black, and people were wondering why. Was it to make the game bulletproof? Was it to make it anti-scratch resistant? Was it some sort of alien technology? No. As it turned out, there wasn't anything too special about them. They were just standard discs that were colored black. But hey, they looked pretty cool, right? The PlayStation 4 is the fastest selling console in history. It sold over 1 million units in 24 hours. That's an insane amount of sales. That means Sony was making around, $4,618 per second. So back in 2002, a man called Dan Holmes changed his name legally to PlayStation 2. That's how much this guy loved his PlayStation 2. That's like today someone changing their name to iPhone 6 Plus or Galaxy S7 Edge Note G5 thing. Now that's some dedication. The PlayStation 3's original launch price of $499 and $599 were very expensive by anyone's standards. However, it did manage to save the US Air Force a lot of money. With its advanced cell processor and other OS capabilities, the US Air Force Research Laboratory created a supercomputer by using 1,760 PlayStation 3 consoles. Named the Condor Cluster, the US Air Force spent about $2 million to create it. The US Air Force used this supercomputer for pattern recognition, radar enhancements, AI research, image processing, amongst other things. If they wanted to build a comparable supercomputer, it would have cost the US Air Force around 10 to 20 times more to build it. On the subject of PlayStation consoles being used for military purposes, in late 2000, there were reports emerging that Saddam Hussein and Iraq were stockpiling thousands of PlayStation 2 consoles. Their goal wasn't to see who can beat the Legend of Max on heavy mode, or to see how fast they could drift around corners in Ridge Racer. Their ultimate goal was to convert the PlayStation 2s into military weapons. The PlayStation logo underwent a lot of different changes. Here's just some of them. I'll have a link down in the video description below where you can check out the image if you want. Some of them look more like what we ended up with today, others look completely different. Which one's your favorite? I bet you didn't know it was possible to play media files off a USB drive on a PlayStation 2. Normally, you wouldn't be able to. However, with a hack called Free Boot, you could turn your PlayStation 2 into a media center. Sort of. It only read certain files, but hey, back before the PlayStation 3, it was something. The iconic square, triangle, circle, X buttons on the PlayStation controller aren't just a random collection of colors and shapes. They've all been methodically thought out by designer Teiyu Goto. I probably butchered that, but I'm sorry. He intended for the icons on the controller to indicate their functions. For example, the green triangle would mean camera perspective, while square represented a map or a menu. In Japan, the circle button is the equivalent of enter or OK, and X to cancel. In North America and European markets, the circle and X functions were switched. PlayStation was the very first game console to sell over 102.49 million units. To put that into perspective, that's more than the original Xbox, the Nintendo GameCube, and the Nintendo 64 combined. In 1995, Sony Computer Entertainment of America came up with Polygon Man, which was to be PlayStation's official mascot. However, when it was shown off to Ken Kutaragi at E3, Kutaragi went ballistic and, as it's internally joked at PlayStation, he took Polygon Man to the car park where he was shot. Anyway, that's all for this top 10 list. Share your favorite PlayStation facts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. And until next time, this has been GTRBytes.